2021 SWAC tournament right here at Bartow Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, presented by USAA. Today, the number 7 seed Texas Southern Lady Tigers take on the number 2 seed Alabama State University in a first-round matchup. Hi, everybody. This is Santoria Black along with Tali Carr bringing you today's matchup between these two teams. And Tali, I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting matchup with Texas Southern being a little shorthanded.
Yeah, they're down to 7 players, so they're going to want to play a slow game. If you're Alabama State, you're really going to want to push tempo and test and see where they are with their cardiovascular ability today.
Absolutely. Well, when you talk about Texas Southern University, you got to talk about Ataya Bridges, who has really been lighting it up.
Yeah, she's 5'4", but she's going to show up really big on your screen at home. 16.8 points per game. The last time they took on Alabama State, she had 28 points, and she averages 5 boards a game.
And Shemaya Ward, man, what a job she's done for head coach Frida Freeman-Jackson. She's averaging 16.5 a game.
Yeah, the 6-footer and even bigger, 10.4 boards a game. So she is a walking double-double from the floor, 53%. And the last time against Texas Southern, 21 points, 10 boards.
Well, as we take a look at the 2021 Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament bracket, Jackson is the number 1 seed overall. They'll take on Mississippi Valley tonight at 6:30 Eastern. Grambling will take on Alabama A&M, the 4 against the 5, at 6:30 on Thursday. And then, of course, the Southern and Alcorn game, that'll be a big one, 3 and 6 seed. That's at 12 on Thursday. So you got a lot of great games. It's going to be a very competitive tournament.
Everybody's got their eyes on Jackson State, Alabama State. I have the Southern women as a sleeper. Don't forget them. Not too long ago, they were tournament champions.
And we're just about ready for the tip-off here between these two teams. Of course, the 2 and the 7 seed, we are underway in the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament. And they're going to call an over and back violation on Texas Southern, and we'll go to Alabama State.
Santoria, I look for Texas Southern to use a lot of shot clock this afternoon. They are down to 7 players. They do not want to get in a run and gun contest with Alabama State.
Yeah, no question about that. And Alabama State will control things to start things off. Shemaya Ward, she's going to be one to watch for Alabama State. Nice bounce pass inside to Ward. She'll take the lane, gets her own rebound. Goes up, can't get the shot. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it will go back to Alabama State.
Yeah, a lot of action down low early. Already our first substitution here for Texas Southern, and that's probably going to be a key, getting players in and out when you only have 7 available.
Demetrius Lewis, the 5'7" sophomore from Cypress, Texas, coming into the ball game. And now Alabama State will control. This is Shemaya Ward, goes inside the paint, can't get the shot. Another big offensive rebound, and now Texas Southern will come away with it. Controlling for Texas Southern, it's going to be Lewis. Or Bridges, I should say. Bridges, probably the most important player on the floor for Texas Southern this morning.
And they're going to need even more for her, and she gives a lot as it is.
They are doubling her right now. Bridges from the elbow. Out of bounds, and Alabama State goes back the other way.
And when you're missing your second leading scorer, it just makes it that much easier for Alabama State to put pressure on Bridges for Texas Southern and just make her life even harder.
Janae Borquez not playing in today's game for Texas Southern University. And Alabama State will get the ball back.
Yeah, that's 7 points out of the lineup with Borquez not playing.
Courtney Lee now to Shemaya Ward. She can't find the range, but man, Alabama State is all around the ball. And finally, coming up with the basketball is Texas Southern. Nice pass by Bridges. She gets it back and still nothing. And there's still no score. We're almost over a minute and a half in the first quarter.
Oh, Ward just can't literally buy a bucket here early, Santoria. She's 0 for 4 now. She's had the position, shown great footwork on the moves, but just can't find the touch here at Bartow Arena.
Now coming in, Tierra Hambrick, the 5'8" junior from LaRue, Texas, in the contest, and Texas Southern gets the ball back.
And one thing you have to consider, first game, you know, the first 5 minutes, you're going to have jitters. I think once you see Ward finally get the bucket to go, and once she sees that ball go in the basket, she'll probably settle down.
Texas Southern working the ball around the perimeter. They cannot get anything inside. Now Adams drives, shoots, can't hit the bucket. Rebound for Texas Southern. Nice shot inside. Nothing doing for Sky Green, and Alabama State with the ball back.
Both teams missing some point-blank range shots here.
We're 2 minutes and 20 seconds in the game, and neither team has been able to score yet.
And I think that is to the advantage of Alabama State. A lot of running up and down when you don't get that emotional relief of getting a bucket. That uses up some energy there.
Adams with the ball now, gets it top of the key to Sky Green. Back to Hambrick, top of the key. They're working that high offense. Nice drive, shot is good. First 2 points of the ball game goes to Texas Southern.
Wow, she took that against 3 Alabama State defenders all the way to the hoop, the bucket, and the foul.
And a nice job by Hambrick in the drive. And first foul coming up against Alabama State.
Yeah, just slow rotation there. You got to do a better job of getting to the ball. Barry just kind of watched her meander down the lane. If she would have got to the spot quicker, could have potentially stopped her from getting that bucket.
Farrah Pearson comes in the ballgame for Shemaya Ward. They can't complete the three-point play, but get the ball right back, and the score, that's Demetrius Lewis.
Yeah, Texas Southern doing a good job on the offensive boards there.
And Alabama State still can't score, but a rebound coming up for Alabama State and a foul on the floor.
And it's kind of funny. Both teams are doing a good job of offensive rebounding, which I guess is safe to say both teams doing a bad job on the defensive boards here early.
And that foul is going to be on Adams, her first.
And you see here, just maybe a little push off, but right spot, right time, easy bucket.
Alabama State gets the ball inbounded. Shot up, no good. And finally, Alabama State gets on the board.
Yep. Just took that ball right over the top, put it back up.
4-2 our score. Texas Southern on top. 6:53 remaining here in the first quarter of play. When Texas Southern trying to work everything to the perimeter, and there's going to be a foul coming up against Texas Southern.
Yeah, went to set the screen there, leaned into it a little bit too hard. They're going to get you on that one.
And that's the first personal.
And that against Gabriel there, you really got to get set on that pick. If you're going to kind of stay in motion and set it, that's going to be an easy call for the official.
4-2 our score. Texas Southern on top. 6:34 remaining here in the first quarter. Nice job on the dribble by Courtney Lee. Inside pass to Shemaya Ward. Shot up, no good. Still over for Shemaya Ward.
Yeah, off the pick and roll there. She had the position. Easy shot. She just can't get one to go here early on. I don't think that'll continue throughout the game.
Boy, Texas Southern really moving that ball to the opposite side. Shot up, no good by Adams, and here comes Alabama State. 4-2 our score. Three-pointer on the way for Alabama State. No good. Emmanuel with the shot, and Texas Southern with the rebound. Now out to Hambrick. And it's going to be a travel violation. And for Adams, just picked her feet up before she put that ball down.
You've seen enough basketball when there's a hard closeout like that, it's almost a 50-50 chance that they're going to travel because she saw the opportunity on the closeout but didn't put the ball down fast enough.
So it's Alabama State ball, 4-2 still our score.
And Santoria, Texas Southern doesn't really seem to be worried about slowing the ball down. They're playing at a nice pace here. Conditioning, they're not going to be afraid of that here.
Farrah Pearson for three, up no good. And Texas Southern brings the ball back down. It's Adams controlling the rock. Nice drive by Adams, get it again to Gabriel, and she gets two on the board for Texas Southern.
Nice hesitation dribble there. It was almost like a screen pass developing in football.
6-2 now our score. Texas Southern on top. Ball on the floor. Shemaya Ward and one of the other Texas Southern players, that's going to be Bridges, tying the ball up, and it goes back to Alabama State. Now coming in for the Lady Hornets, Dekaya Sanders, a 5'3" freshman from Birmingham.
And Texas Southern really playing with a nothing-to-lose attitude here. We thought maybe they might try to slow things down with only 7 players, but they've really been pushing the tempo, and so far it's paying off. I think you really want to divide this game into, let's make it to each TV timeout and see where we are. And right now in that first section of the game, Lady Tigers doing pretty good.
And Tamiria Thomas, the big freshman, coming into the ball game, 6'3" from Pike Road, Alabama. Three-pointer on the way by Emmanuel. Good. Alabama State gets a big three-pointer, 6-5 now our score. Texas Southern on top.
Yeah, solid screen there to open up that opportunity for the three-point shot.
Bridges controlling and out on her with Sanders out of bounds. Alabama State basketball. That was great defense by Alabama State. And we have a timeout on the floor. 6-5 our score. 4:44 remaining here in this first quarter as Emmanuel getting a big three-pointer going to the break. The 2021 SWAC basketball tournament on ESPN is presented by USAA, the official military appreciation partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. By Cricket Wireless, smile, you're on Cricket. And by Credit Versio, get your credit score up to where it should be with Credit Versio. Visit creditversio.com. Back here at the 2021 Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament here at Bartow Arena in Birmingham. Let's take a look at today's keys to the game presented by Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Well, for Texas Southern, you really want to control the pace here. Keep your composure. You're down to 7 people. For Alabama State, we said pedal to the metal early on, but I think Texas Southern might have been reading that graphic there because they have been really pushing the ball. And Alabama State suffering from a low field goal percentage there. 2 of 11 so far, Santoria. Have been getting some good looks in the paint, but nothing has been able to fall for them.
And Texas Southern also out-rebounding Alabama State. Here's a three-pointer by Emmanuel. Good! And Emmanuel now with 6 points.
It's funny, the three-pointer seems to be a little easier than the layup here for Alabama State early on.
And we got a timeout on the floor here. It's going to be a timeout on Texas Southern, and she is all in the face of Bridges right now, head coach Cynthia Cooper.
Yeah, Emmanuel with back-to-back three-pointers and no defender anywhere in sight. That'll get the coach's ire every time.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, Emmanuel, of course, a part of the 1,000-point club for Alabama State University. She has really been a big part of this offense. She's averaging over 15 points a ball game. Yeah,
this whole junior class really has been a resurgence for Alabama State. I remember them coming in as freshmen, and each year they've gotten a little better. Last year, Alabama State finished the year 9-21, coming into the tournament this year at 14-3. And for Texas Southern, it's the tale of 2 seasons as well. 20-10 last year. This year has just been a struggle to get games on the calendar. 5-9 coming into the tournament. Alabama State has won as many games as Texas Southern has played so far this year.
4:20 remaining here in this first quarter of play, and it's Texas Southern basketball.
And Coach Cooper Dykes knows she cannot let this game get away early. I think that was the reason for the early timeout to settle her team on defense.
And here is the shot by Bridges. She takes the shot. It is up, and it is no good.
Oh, turnover. We're going to go right back and try it again. A little miscommunication on the outlet pass there.
And now coming to the ball game for Alabama State, Jayla Crawford. She's coming back in. And Crawford, she had 21 points and 5 rebounds against Texas Southern the last time that they played. She's also closing in on 1,000 points.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be lovely to do it right here in her hometown of Birmingham? She has a small cheering section here early on. Always fun for your family to be able to have a short distance to come see you play in person.
About an 80-mile ride between Montgomery and Birmingham. Texas Southern working that ball around the perimeter. Open jumper there by Brittany Gabriel, and the shot is up no good.
Yeah, that's not her game. The defense is going to sag off of her and let her take that shot all day if she wants.
Sky Green now coming into the ball game. She'll take out Gabriel.
And it's so hard. You're like, ooh, I'm open. But there's a reason.
And Texas Southern will get the ball back inbound. Shot up and good by Adams. Nice little 10-foot jumper.
Yep, textbook up and under. Get the defender up in the air. When they're on the way down, you go up.
Alabama State now with the basketball.
I'm really looking to see Ward get going. She's had so many good looks, but none have been able to fall for her. Another way to kind of solve that problem, draw some contact, get some easy ones at the free throw line, Santori.
Yeah, there's going to be another foul coming up, and that's going to be on Adams. And Adams now with 2 personal fouls.
Oh, if there's a team in this entire tournament that cannot afford foul trouble, it will be Texas Southern.
Farrah Pearson coming back into the ball game here for Alabama State. Going to the line for the Lady Hornets will be Shamaya Ward. And this is where the money is for Alabama State. They have been pretty good so far this season at the free throw line. First free throw is up and good.
Hey, the Santora jinx not in effect here.
No, not in effect. Matter of fact, Shamaya Ward, she did pretty good in that last weekend when she played Grambling. She was solid at the free throw line.
Yeah, great form. All net in both of those. See if that'll affect her confidence as they'll continue to feed her in the post as this game goes along.
And we got to stop with your play because the score was wrong. It's now correct, 10-8, Alabama State on top with 3:04 remaining here in the first quarter of play.
Hey, quick breather from Texas Southern. They're not mad about it.
Anytime you get a chance to time out, it's great. And now here comes a press by Alabama State. They are all over the basketball.
Yeah, and that just physically wears you out when it's that much of a struggle to get the ball across half court.
And the ball goes out of bounds off of the hands of Demetrius Lewis back to Alabama State. That's going to call a foul. And that foul, I think, is going to be on Demetrius Lewis. Yep.
Yeah, fight for the ball there. She came over the back.
And now coming into the ball game, Kateria Limbrick, a 5'7" junior from Sugar Land, Texas.
Yeah, the sweet spot for Alabama State, I think, is going to be more of that defensive pressure. Try to wear Texas Southern down and get themselves in an advantageous position before halftime.
Courtney Lee to Jayla Crawford. Now to Rudolph, top of the key now. Ball is tipped. Great defense there by Sky Green, the redshirt sophomore from Palm Coast, Florida. Shot up, no good. A little hard on the layup. Goes out of bounds, back to Alabama State.
Yeah, they were trying to feed the ball to Ward down there. Defenders were wrapped around. They probably want to kick that ball back out on the perimeter. It resulted in a turnover.
10-8 our score. Alabama State on top. First round of the 2021 Southwestern Athletic Conference basketball tournament. Alabama State working it inside. Shamaya Ward now with the ball. Now back outside to Rudolph. Nice shot. That's an easy bucket there for Farrah Pearson.
Yeah, Ward drew 2 defenders. She kicked it back out on the perimeter. They worked it around, found the open shooter.
Farrah Pearson already with 4 points in the ball game. 12-8, Alabama State on top.
It really shows you how good Ward is, even when her shot is off, still drawing a double team down there because they have to respect her game, and it's opening up opportunities for her teammates on the perimeter.
Adams with the ball. She drives. Shot from the right elbow, no good. And strong rebound by Alabama State. Crawford comes away with it. Good inside pass. And that's going to be a bucket inside by Shamaya Ward.
And I think that Ward train is starting to warm up here.
And that train starts moving. It is hard to stop. Averaging a double-double this season. Going to be a foul coming up on Farrah Pearson.
Yeah, when you go back to Ward, it's all about touches. Santori, you know that she's not going to keep missing them down there in the paint. She gets the position, she has the moves. We're going to see a steady diet of that on offense as the game goes along.
Emmanuel coming back into the ball game for Alabama State. Adams with the basketball. Now gets it out to Limbrick. Limbrick defended by Emmanuel. Nice pitch set up. Ball is on the floor. Texas Southern gets it back. Hambrick with the shot, no good. And rebound by Alabama State. Ooh, you talk about running into a wall on that last play.
I mean, a solid brick wall. And you got to ask your teammate, you remember that thing we practiced where you say pick left? You got to let me know that's coming.
You got to call that just right there. Welcome to the tournament. Woo.
Hey, but to her credit, she got the rebound laying on the ground after getting level.
Boy, she came across there and Sky Green just blocked the blessings. Man. 38 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and we have a stoppage of play momentarily.
Boy, that was more contact than that COVID test I had to take before the game.
Good grief. 14-8 our score, 38 seconds remaining. And now Bridges will come across the midcourt line. Shot up and good. Nice shot by Adams.
Nice quick dribble pull-up from that right elbow. Found her sweet spot.
14-10 is our score. First bucket of the game for Adams. Alabama State with the ball. Nice little ball fake. Ooh, threw it behind.
Yeah, I think she got away with her travel before that anyway. So that was a little karma that ended in a turnover.
14-10 our score, and Texas Southern can play for the final shot of the quarter. Inside, nice job by Adams. Shot is up, but they say the bucket is no good, and we have 1 quarter in the books between Alabama State and Texas Southern. We'll take this time out as Alabama State moving things around. Pearson with the big shot. We'll take this time out and be right back. Back here at Bartow Arena here on the campus of the University of Alabama, Birmingham for the first round of the SWAC basketball tournament. Ladies taking the court first, and you see the bracket here. Jackson State, the 1 seed against Mississippi Valley, the 8 seed, 6:30 tonight. It's going to be a big game for Jackson State. They're the 1 seed, and of course, Grambling, Alabama A&M, 6:30 Thursday night. Southern Alcorn, 12 noon on Thursday. That's one that you said that you want to really watch for right there.
Yeah, Southern, a past champion, number 3 seed, nice sleeper position. Everybody's thinking, is it going to be Jackson State and Alabama State? Will we see another one of those great 2-point finishes, which they played each other both to the tilt? But a lot of teams out here, at least 6 others.
Absolutely.
Sleepers, Cinderellas, knock off.
It's championship week. It's win or go home.
Hey, that was a good first quarter for Texas Southern to be only down 4 points and within a half a second of being a 2-point game. Just barely missed getting that shot off in time to end the first quarter.
Bridges can't hit the bucket, and Alabama State comes away with the ball. Nice pass in transition to Rudolph. And Alabama State goes up 6.
Yeah, those transition buckets can be a killer for Texas Southern. They want to try to keep Alabama State in the half-court offense. Don't want the foot race to start here.
3-pointer on the way by Hambrick, and she nails a 3-pointer. She's got 5 now, and it's 16-13.
That's a big bucket there to keep that lead slim.
Alabama State with the ball. Great defense played by Texas Southern here.
Yeah, Texas Southern in the man-to-man. Putting pressure on the perimeter. Got a ball screen here.
Emmanuel going inside to Shemaya Ward. She loses control of the ball on the floor. Bridges comes away with it. Goes out to Adams. And, it's blocked out of there, and a foul will be called on Alabama State. And Texas Southern will go to the line to shoot 2.
Hey, and you will take that, because if you can convert these 2 free throws here, what are they getting right now, Centoria? Rest.
Yes, absolutely.
Rest.
That foul will go against Hannah White, the sophomore from Columbus, Mississippi, her first personal, as you can see the replay there.
Yep. Taking up strong with the left hand. Defender comes across the body. That's easy money. But you got to convert here to make it worth your while.
Adams goes to the free throw line now. This is where Texas Southern struggled a little bit this season, is at the free throw line. But Adams hits this first one. One more opportunity for Adams.
See Coach Freeman Jackson over there, 23 years on the sidelines at her alma mater.
Absolutely. No stranger to the NC2A tournament. Hambrick, a 3-pointer, no good, and Alabama State with the rebound.
Yeah, missed that second. That would have been big if they got that offensive board and then could have converted on a 3-pointer there. They would have actually taken the lead, Santoria.
Alabama State on the other side. Nice drive on the baseline, and Emmanuel gets the bucket.
Hey, great screen there. Just opened up a driveway straight to the bucket.
18-14 our score. Alabama State on top. 8:05 remaining in the first half of play. Nice dribble drive penetration by Adams. She goes in and can't hit the bucket. Great positioning on the rebound by Taisha Randolph. And that's just textbook basketball. Shamaya Ward goes in for 2.
Yep, Ward, when you seal the defender like that and make the catch, all you got to do when you're that deep is just turn and score.
Ward now has 4 points, and that basket is good by Texas Southern, so they answer.
Yeah, and four is kind of the sweet spot. You want to see Texas Southern, if you're a fan of Texas Southern, kind of stay within that ballpark. And so far, they've been able to keep it close.
Emmanuel double pump goes up, misses the bucket, and with the rebound for Texas Southern will be Gabriel.
A little risky there on the reach that far away from the Texas Southern basket, but got away with it.
Nice little shot from the elbow up, no good by Bridges. She had 28 points against Alabama State earlier in the season. She was 13 of 15 from the free throw line. And a foul coming up against Texas Southern.
Yeah, that's going to go against Bridges there. She tried to swipe the ball away. See right there. She would have used her left hand. She might would have got away with it, but using her right hand, that had to bring her body across the opponent's body there.
Courtney Lee will go to the free throw line now for Alabama State.
Yeah, and Bridges, no, look, I'm 5'4". I'm not going to block your shot. I got to get it down low.
Had a chance to talk with some of the Alabama State folks before the game. Excited about being here.
Oh, man, the team. Did you see the team in warm-ups? Oh. I mean, they were about to...
They're about to explode.
They were about to bust out their warm-ups. They were so hyped on the floor. A little more subdued for Texas Southern. But, man, Alabama State, they were hyped and ready to go before we even tipped this one off today.
Courtney Lee, about a 65% free throw shooter, hits both here. And now coming into the ball game for Alabama State is Armani Smith, 5'8" junior from Marietta, Georgia. And that's the key here for Alabama State. Keep putting in fresh bodies.
Yep, here comes that press.
And Alabama State gets the steal. And then, of course, Bridges tries to get it back, goes out of bounds, and it will come back to Alabama State.
Yeah, and that just frustrates you. It wears you out when bringing the ball up is such a struggle when that defense is applied full court like that. Alabama State has shown it in spurts here so far, not on every possession, but when they have shown it, it has been effective against Texas Southern.
Farrah Pearson now in the ball game for Alabama State. And we have whistles. And I'll tell you what, Coach Frida Freeman Jackson, she knows where she's at. She's intense, to say the least.
Hey, you don't do this for 23 years by considering it a walk in the park.
No doubt.
Hall of Famer. Look, she has all the accolades, so her words carry weight when she talks.
And they'll have a timeout here while the teams go to the bench.
And if you're Texas Southern, Santoria, you really, and Coach Cooper Dykes, you want to micromanage this game. You got to judge it like 2-3 minute spurts at a time to keep your team in it. You don't want the score to get too big because you definitely don't want to be in a comeback situation, after halftime with only 7 players on the team. But I think Texas Southern has done a great job. They're only down 6 points right now. A couple of buckets. There was a possession just a few minutes ago. They were in position to potentially take the lead in this game.
Absolutely. Well, you talked about Frida Freeman Jackson, and she's been a part of this program for so many years. In 2017, she had a young team to a 6th-place finish in the conference, starting as many as 3 freshmen in the lineup, including Emmanuel, who was on that team.
Yeah, you can't say enough about this junior class at Alabama State and what they've done since they became a part of this program. The team has just gotten better each year.
Emmanuel with the bucket, and it's now a 24-16 ball game. Alabama State pulling out to an 8-point lead. Bridges will stop, pop, rattles in and out, no good. And Rudolph now with the rebound for Alabama State. Right side to Emmanuel. She wants to get back to the tournament. Shot turnaround up, no good by Pearson.
They got away with a little shuffle of the feet right there.
Adams now with the basketball and all kinds of pressure by Alabama State. Bridges now will back things up and slow it down, starting the offense. Now to Hambrick. Gabriel swinging the pass over. Limbrick now to the corner to Bridges. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Bridges in the paint, goes in, gets the buckets.
Yeah, managing the clock there, slowing things down on that possession. Comes up with 2.
Bridges now with 4 points, 24-18 now the score. Lots of communication by Alabama State. Pearson with the ball. Nice drive. Shot no good, but draws the foul.
Yep, she dipped that shoulder, drew the contact.
And that foul is going to go against Brittany Gabriel.
Yep, you saw that little lean right there. That's all she needed. You know, basketball is a game of angles. It's a game of contact. Probably didn't have the best angle on that bucket, but drawing the contact gets her at the line for some of that free money.
And this is important money here. First free throw attempt. Up and good. 5 points now. 25-18 our score. Graham. Alabama State second free throw up and good.
Yeah, it's always a great thing when your bigs are good free throw shooters, and we see Pearson coming out and Ward replacing her. Similar skill sets there, both able to draw contact and make the team pay when they get to the charity stripe.
Farrah Pearson is averaging almost 67% from the free throw line. And Armani Smith picks up her first personal foul. Texas Southern will inbound the basketball.
Yep, back to the press here.
Great job by Texas Southern, really moving with the basketball. Three-pointer on the way coming up for Texas Southern. Up, no good as Adams tried one. And Alabama State coming down with the basketball. Smith drives, shot is up off the back of the iron, no good. And the rebound by Texas Southern. Sky Green comes down with it. 26-18 is our score. Limbrick top of the key to Bridges. And out left side to Hambrick. Hambrick inside to Sky Green. She's one-on-one with Ward. Now gets it back out. Bridges takes a long three. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. No good. And the rebound coming down to Rudolph. Rudolph will get it out front, and a foul coming up. Nice job by Crawford to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, on that previous possession, Texas Southern had the ball down in the post, really not looking to score there.
We have a timeout on the floor. 4:29 remaining here in this first half. 26-18, Alabama State. Back here at Bartow Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, the 2-seed Alabama State on top of 7-seed Texas Southern, 26-18. And Texas Southern University, of course, located in Houston, Texas. They are led by Cynthia Cooper-Dyke, who is a native of Chicago, Illinois. Great career in the WNBA, really one of the pioneers of the league.
Oh, yeah, when you see that name, you know, if you're of a certain age, I guess as we get a little older here, Santoria, you definitely know about her career and her days as a player, and a lot of great memories there, a lot of great highlights.
She is definitely intense. She was intense as a player and very intense as a coach. First free throw up and good. At the free throw line is Jayla Crawford.
And Alabama State, that field goal percentage is slowly creeping up, trying to get up to 50% here on the afternoon. Coming back to the break, they were 9 of 21 from the floor. Started out, man, it was just rough going early for the Lady Hornets.
Crawford, a 76% free throw shooter, and this ball almost goes out of bounds. Nice recovery by Texas Southern.
She missed an easy little duck down pass there for a layup.
And the ball is tipped out of bounds off of Alabama State back to Texas Southern.
Oh, the timing was there. She just didn't pull the trigger on the pass.
Are they going to call a foul on Sanders? And a near steal by Alabama State. shot up by Bridges is no good, and the rebound by Alabama State. Coming down with the basketball was Ward, and here come the Lady Hornets. Three-pointer on the way by Crawford. Good.
Yeah, right when that came off her fingertips, you could tell that was had the touch.
And here comes Alabama State. Nice head fake. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it goes back to Texas Southern. Well, look at the rotation here on this three-pointer here by Alabama State.
Yeah, they're on the move in transition. Stop, pop, drains it. And we're kind of at the point now here, Centoria, where it's starting to get away from Texas Southern a little bit. They kept it within 4, within 6. Now that lead up to double digits.
And the pass is tipped. Limbrick couldn't get it to who she needed it to, and here comes Alabama State. Emmanuel with the shot up, no good. Ward gets the rebound. Strong rebound. Ward inside, draws a double team, and it's going to be a travel inside the paint.
Yeah, and Emmanuel missed that bucket earlier, but did go over her 1,000th career point here in her hometown. Or she's actually from Fort Lauderdale. 1,000 points in a career, nothing to sneeze at with Alabama State.
Ooh, foul coming up against Alabama State. It's going to be on Emmanuel. I believe that'll be her first coming into the contest. It's going to be for Alabama State. It's going to be Taisha Rudolph. She's a 5'9" junior from Evergreen, Alabama.
You're down 13. You got 3 minutes before halftime. Texas Southern would be in a good position if they can kind of get back down 6, 5 points, something manageable before the break.
Hambrick will take the drive. And it's going to be a foul coming up against Alabama State.
Yeah, that initial second there, that shot was open. Didn't take it, but it draws some contact.
Coach Jackson wanted a foul, and the foul will be on, wanted to travel rather, and the foul will be on Dakaya Sanders, the freshman from Birmingham. And coming up for Texas Southern, Adams will go to the free throw line, the senior from Sacramento, California.
Long way from home here in Birmingham this afternoon.
Oh, it's a few minutes away.
Tell you what, all these teams, Centoria, fighting for a chance to go to the big tournament. But man, whoever wins here on Saturday, they will immediately get to Indianapolis, and it's all about quarantine and safety.
And Adams, who's normally just a 60% free throw shooter, 61%, hits 2 at the line there. She's 3 of 4 so far. And now Alabama State with the basketball. Yeah, we're talking to the TV crew earlier today, and the commissioner of the SWAC, Charles McClellan, already in Indianapolis. He's a part of the men's selection committee.
Yeah, he's living that bubble life.
Should put that on the T-shirt. Shot up and in by Limbrick. Everybody who's doing that should have a T-shirt called the Bubble Life.
Yeah, we'll remake that print song. Pop Life, the Bubble Life.
31-21, back down to a 10-point lead here. Shot up and good by Ward, no good, but she is going to the free throw line.
Yeah, if you're Texas Southern, you got it to 10. Work on getting it to 5. If you're Alabama State, you want to continue to apply the pressure. The full court press they've employed here on a few possessions has been successful for them. I think Texas Southern kind of figured out the spacing the last time Alabama State laid that on the line, but I'm sure we're going to see it again here as the game goes along.
Ward at the free throw line now for Alabama State. She'll get 2 here. First free throw up and nothing but money.
Yeah, Ward has the unique look here. She's going with the one leg tights there on the left leg.
You know, if we did that when I was playing basketball, we would just be called crazy. But that's the style now.
Well, you know, when we played Centoria, our shorts were crazy.
Extremely short, yeah. 2 free throws there by Ward. She's 4 for 4, and it's now a 33-21 basketball game. Alabama State on top. Texas Southern now trying to answer. Here's the drive off the foot. Gabriel gets the ball, goes in for the shot, can't get the bucket, but she's going to the line.
Yep, nice dribble penetration in the lane. Suck the defense in. Teammates open, right off the crossover. Look at that, 3 defenders around. And there she is. Potential for a 3-point play. Couldn't get the bucket to go.
Gabriel going to the free throw line now for Texas Southern, and she has struggled at the free throw line coming into the tournament, shooting about 47%. And she has an opportunity now to increase that percentage, and now the officials will go over to the scores table momentarily. 33-21 is our score. 1:55 remaining here in this first half of play. First game of the tournament. You know, 8 teams come and only one remains. The one that remains, they get to pack their bags back up, wash, and go on to San Antonio.
Yeah, it's like they'll just put you in a Ziploc bag and send you on. But I'm so excited to be here. I was looking so forward to the tournament last year. We thought, okay, first it was going to be no fans, then just media, and then day by day, the decisions kept changing and finally ended up with no tournament at all. So the fact that we're here now, a year later, with a lot of the same excitement brewing for the SWAC, really good feeling to be here.
I think it says something about the leadership of the conference as well, being able to get teams back on the court, you know, get some standards in place, and these kids have a chance to showcase their talent. And, you know, look, there's nothing like tournament play, and these kids are excited.
Yep, not every conference chose to pull the trigger on the season, but the SWAC had a couple of rough spots, and you knew that coming in, but here we are. Enjoying. At least 1,000 fans will be allowed in here this week, so pretty good time here in Birmingham.
Three-pointer on the way up and no good by Jayla Crawford, and here comes Texas Southern. Gabriel with the ball.
She's ready to lead the break.
And she's going to be called for traveling. That train got to moving, and she really trying to turn around and find out what's going on, and Coach Cynthia Cooper-Dyke says, hey, you got to pass the ball.
she knew not to even look over at the coach. I know I'm guilty. I don't need any reinforcement on that. I tried it, Coach. It was too enticing. All that open air and opportunity.
She felt the spirit of her coach just to dribble down the floor. Here is Ward going in for the shot. No good. Nice rebound by Crawford. She goes in, can't hit the shot, and recovered by Alabama State.
Oh, that's demoralizing when you have two good defensive stops but can't get the rebound.
Ward turns around right in the face of Gabriel, and she gets another bucket.
And that will make you tired, playing that much defense. Not only physically, but mentally.
Nice defensive cutoff there by Rudolph. Shot up, no good by Gabriel. Gets her own rebound, goes up and gets the foul. And if you can't get it in the bucket, go to the free throw line and try to get 2 free ones.
Yeah, Gabriel, she's giving it all that she has down there. Played pretty good defense, just couldn't corral the rebound on the defensive side, but making up for it here on the offensive boards, going to the line, see if she can have a better outcome than before. There it is.
Well, she's improving on those free throws, and she's 3 for 3 now. Rudolph now has 3 personal fouls. About to have a couple of substitutions coming into the game now for Alabama State. Free throw up and no good. And coming away with the basketball for Alabama State is Sanders. Nice drive by Sanders. Shot up, little floating shot, no good. And coming up with the rebound is Ambrick. And then it turns it over. Here comes Alabama State.
Yep, a blind outlet pass. That was an opportunity to potentially get this lead back under 10. But a turnover is going to give another shot to Alabama State.
Sanders on the inside. That's going to be to Crawford.
Had an open shooter in the corner. Didn't even look that way.
To Sanders. Back to Crawford. 7 on the shot clock. Crawford trying to make something happen. Goes in, and she's going to be called for the travel. That's great defense by Texas Southern.
Yep, Alabama State was using some time there, but finally got a shot that wasn't the best look, but had to get something up.
Well, I tell you what, that was created because of great help by Adams. When she slid over, saw that pick coming, slid over, helped her out, and that's what they need. They need that kind of help.
Yeah. The defensive rotation came up big on that play, and it's definitely something that'll make the coach smile when the players slide over into that spot.
Limbrick taking the ball, 5 seconds left on the shot on the game clock. No good. Alabama State with the rebound, and they just hold it. That's halftime, 35-24. Alabama State on top. That's the end of the first half of Game 1 of the 2021 SWAC basketball tournament. We'll take this time out. One half to go for one of these teams, and the other one will move on. 35-24, A-State.
Turbo Hybrid, the world's first storytelling machine.
ESPN Championship Week on the family of networks. SWAC Women's Basketball Tournament presented by USAA. Texas Southern and Alabama State. Lady Hornets on top 35-24. Santoria Black along with Tali Carr. And Tali, you look at this first half, and one of the things that you notice is that Texas Southern early on really played some aggressive basketball.
Yeah, they did. We thought they might try to come out and take some of the air out of the ball, but they were really aggressive. They pushed tempo. I think they've been getting some good-looking quality shots, but, man, there have been so many shots out there early in this afternoon where the ball just is in and it's out. And Texas Southern has been a victim of that, as well as Alabama State. But I think part of the big difference is Alabama State has more shooters on the perimeter, and they've been able to make Texas Southern pay with the three-point shot more than Texas Southern has been able to convert. Texas Southern actually has a couple of players that they don't even want shooting the ball from the perimeter. So I think Alabama State's a little more versatile right now on the things they can do offensively, where you're a little more predictable with Texas Southern because you know they're going to have to get it mid-range or going to the hoop.
Two of the starters, Ward and Emmanuel, doing exactly what we thought they would do for Alabama State. And then you add in what Pearson has done off the bench. They've been pretty consistent trying to build that lead late in that first half.
Yeah, and it was a slow start for Ward. Had the position. She did a great job on sealing her defender. Nice footwork, moves around the bucket. But she had so many that were just point-blank misses. There's no other way you can describe it. She got going a little later as we got into the second period there. I think if she has a big – strong start early in the third quarter, this one, Alabama State can kind of put this one away early. But Texas Southern might hang around. They've been getting quality shots. I don't want to overlook that. They just haven't been able to fall. But right now, when it comes to firepower, definitely a lot more on the Alabama State side.
And what does Texas Southern need to do coming out right away in that second half?
Well, they can't have any more problems with the full court pressure that Alabama State put on. I like what they did the last time that we saw that from Alabama State. They had more spacing because one thing that happens when you're not ready, you don't know when they're going to apply it. You can get yourself caught with poor spacing and trying to make short passes, and there's a swarm of defenders around you. So the last time we saw that pressure, Texas Southern did a good job of moving the ball from side to side, created a little more ease. Right. It doesn't wear you out as much. That ball moving in the air is a lot easier than you trying to dribble to 2 and 3 defenders.
Absolutely. We're at halftime here at Bartow Arena in Birmingham, Alabama. Alcorn State University, one of their players, kind of just relaxing before they get ready to play later on. Alabama State, the 2 seed right now, on top of 7 seed Texas Southern, 35-24. We'll be right back.
$1 million starting February 15th through March 15th. Learn how at retoolyourschool.com. We're powered by purpose.
35-24 here at halftime. Alabama State on top of Texas Southern. The Grambling State University Lady Tigers enjoying this first game. They'll play tomorrow evening at 5:30 here at Bartow Arena. And, you know, when you look at this week, it's all about getting to the tournament, survive and advance. And you look at the bracket here, and, of course, our game at the bottom of the bracket, Alabama State and Texas Southern. The winner of that game will play the winner of the Southern University and Alcorn game. And you look at Southern, they won 3 in a row coming into the tournament. And then at the top of the bracket, Jackson State University, winners of 13 straight, will play Mississippi Valley. They've lost 3 in a row. And then they will the winner of that game will play the winner of Grambling and Alabama A&M. Those 2 teams just played less than a week ago. As a matter of fact, they played on Saturday night, and Grambling, of course, won that game to get bumped up to the 4 seed. So this is going to be a very important stretch here for these teams.
Yep, and when you look at that bracket, all eyes on the THEE, Jackson State, the team to beat on the women's side. And, man, what a year they've had. And this game that we have here, Alabama State, they're nothing to sneeze at either. And they played, look, only 4 points separated both of these schools in the regular season when they played one another. I have a feeling we have a good chance it might get settled. The trio.
All right, taking a look at the men's bracket here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. The number 1 team, Prairie View A&M University, winners of 13 in a row. They'll take on Mississippi Valley. They've lost one. Of course, Alabama A&M, Alabama State not eligible for the tournament. Grambling and Southern, 2 old rivals from the booth. They'll take on each other Thursday at 9:30 Central. Grambling has won 2 in a row. Bottom of the bracket, number 3, Texas Southern, winners of 6 in a row, will take on Alcorn State. They've been on a bit of a losing streak. Lost 3 in a row, fell to the 6th seed. And then Jackson State, the 2 seed, with that conference player of the year, Tristan Jarrett. They'll take on Arkansas Pine Bluff, that's going to be a tall task right there for those 2 teams.
You know, we have 2 undefeated teams in the regular season. How does that happen? Well, Prairie View and Jackson State did not get to play one another because that game was postponed, but they beat everyone else. And once again, I think that's going to be an exciting thing for fans to see. But let's take a look at this first round quarterfinals. We get Grambling and Southern in the quarterfinals?
Always good when you see the rivals. Absolutely. Always good. And, of course, all times are Eastern on ESPN3. And, of course, the championship game for the men, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. All right, let's take a look at the standings right now. Of course, coming into this ball game, we talked about how Jackson State University just absolutely dominated the conference into the season 14-1, and they didn't get a chance to play equal amount of games, so Jackson and Alabama State share the conference championship. Then Southern at 11-4, which I might add, they really had a tough time in the last few days. Alabama A&M 8-5, Grambling 8-6. Of course, big win against Alabama A&M. Alcorn State University is at 7-8, Texas Southern 4-8, Prairie View 2-11, and of course Mississippi Valley and Pine Bluff finished the season 2-13, not in the tournament this year. But I'll tell you what, I am impressed with what we've seen this year. I have a chance to see all of these teams play, but again, as we talked about on the men's side, on the women's side, it's about Jackson State.
That's the thing that I was most disappointed about last year when the tournament got canceled. I really wanted to see the Jackson State women play last year. I'm glad that we're going to get a chance to see them, but I mean, if you look at the top, man, Jackson State, Alabama State, Southern, wow, that is a 3-headed monster at the top of the conference standings.
Alabama State warming up. Halftime just about over. We'll take this break. We'll be right back.
To check out today's limited time offer.
Back at Bartow Arena here in Birmingham, Alabama. Halftime has just ended. Alabama State, the 2 seed, on top of Texas Southern 35-24 as we get ready for the second half of play. And let's take a look at the stats. Of course, your halftime stats are from Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Alabama State doing a better job shooting and converting as that field goal percentage is rising just a bit. We talked about the 3-point opportunities for Alabama State. A little better shooting team than Texas Southern, but the key is the free throw line. Look at that. Alabama State, a perfect 10 for 10. Rebounding advantage goes to the Lady Hornets as well. And, of course, the fast break. They have been on the move. 11 fast break points compared to 3 for Texas Southern, who a little more concerned about the pace of this game with only 7 available players this afternoon.
Yeah, you look at that fast break points you were just talking about, 11-3, man. And that's, that when you're looking at 7 players, that 2 of them, one player from Texas Southern already has 2 fouls in this ballgame, or 2 as a matter of fact. And so they're going to want to watch that here in this second half. Second half is underway, and there's 20 minutes left for one team, and the other team will move on. Alabama State with the basketball. Emmanuel will control. She'll drive. Nothing doing, and it's tipped away and recovered by Alabama State. It's Courtney Lee.
Yeah. The next 5 minutes is going to be the most important 5 minutes of the game for Texas Southern.
3-pointer on the way for Alabama State. Up and no good by Pearson. Foul coming up on on Alabama State. And that's going to be on Ward. That's her first personal.
Normally this is the time of the game when you're at a campus game where the fans are still kind of filing back in. The energy is down a little bit, a chance for the team that's down, especially when they're on the road, to make a little bit of a run. A different environment here. Everybody's kind of tucked in and cozy, but very important possessions coming up for Texas Southern if they want to get back into this ball game. And not a good start there with travel on a simple handoff.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. And Gabriel coming back into the ball game now for Texas Southern.
A little laissez-faire there on the handoff, a little too casual.
Two intense coaches trying to get to the NC2A tournament. Both of these coaches no stranger to the big dance either. Inside pass to Ward. Ward goes up, gets the bucket.
And that's what we were talking about. Those shots would probably start to fall for her in the second half a lot easier than they did early now that she's settled in the first game of the tournament.
Bridges draws the foul on the floor, so Texas Southern will take the ball out. And that foul is going to be on Ward. That'll be her second personal.
Yeah, Ward and Emmanuel had 10 points in the first half for Alabama State. Both of them all SWAC first-team performers.
And Coach Frida Freeman Jackson calling the official over for a second about something.
Gabriel takes the seat for Texas Southern. They are going to miss her presence down low, especially if Ward is starting to feel her touch on offense.
And Coach Jackson now even giving the officials a little shout there.
Just, hey, how you been? Haven't seen you in a while. How's Birmingham treating you? You know, those type of things. Recommending a nice, coffee shop.
Barbecue place for tonight. This is the first time in over 2 decades that her and her husband have not been coaching on the sideline together. Of course, Lou Jack, many years with Alabama State on the men's side, and of course, over 20 years on the bench for Frida Freeman Jackson.
Yeah, both of them SWAC Hall of Famers. You got to love that trophy case at home.
And Texas Southern now with the basketball. Nice movement. Adams controlling now.
Yeah, and Alabama State can kind of lay off on the perimeter. Don't have to be up.
Bridges with 5 on the shot clock. Bounce pass inside. And it goes out of bounds off of Alabama State back to Texas Southern.
Yeah, the lack of outside shooting just allows that Alabama State defense to kind of sag back there. But good pass, just got the hand in there and took it away. But way to suck in the defenders on the penetration.
One of the officials asking a couple of the coaches to sit down. And here's the shot up and no good by Sky Green as the shot clock expired and they get the rebound. Bridges now will control and bring it to the top of the key. Limbrick will drive, shoot, and she gets the bucket.
Yep, nice crossover to get to that baseline. And up for the bucket.
And for Limbrick, that is her first bucket of the ball game. Her second bucket of the ball game, as a matter of fact.
Seal, turn, score.
Nice job by Alabama State. And Ward, of course, in double figures. 14. 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Yep, no dribble needed. Just catch and turn when you are able to get that position down in the post.
The drive by Adams. Gets it inside. Ward right there on some great defense. And here comes Alabama State. A near steal. And recovering is Courtney Lee. Lee with a behind-the-back dribble. Pops it back out to Jayla Crawford. Crawford. Now to Emmanuel. She'll take the baseline. Shot up, no good. Great defense by Texas Southern. And doing exactly what their head coach talked about, just putting her hands straight up.
Yep, had the height advantage. Use it.
Three-pointer air ball on that side, and Alabama State will get it back. Oh, Texas Southern steals. Goes in, easy bucket there for Bridges.
Yep, got a little ahead of themselves there. Alabama State did. Trying to ignite that fast break with the dribble.
She's got 6 points. It's blocked. Ward goes back up. Can't hit the bucket, but she's going to the free throw line.
Texas Southern scrappy here in the third quarter, but still stuck at that 11-point deficit.
Sky Green coming in for, or Sky Green comes out and Gabriel comes in, and coming in for Alabama State will be Rudolph. 7:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Ward going to the free throw line. First free throw is up and good. Boy, she makes a lot of money at the free throw line.
Yeah, you could almost just chalk that up right when she gets to the line.
And something that, you talk to the coaching staff, and something that, when we had a chance to talk to them with Clayton Harris, he said, we work on free throws when you're tired. That's when they work on a lot of free throws.
Hey, That's what's going to happen in the game. And you look at her form, perfect, or whatever you want to call it, gooseneck, hand in the cookie jar. She has it all. Shoots it the same way every time.
Nice spin move there by Limbrick. Can't hit the shot. Texas Southern still the ball. Here's Bridges for three. Up, no good. Ball tipped around. And coming down with the basketball is Rudolph. Rudolph pop shot. No good. And the rebound by Texas Southern. Now Adams controlling. She gets the ball. Takes it herself. Goes in for the layup. Good.
Nice little Euro there. Euro step. Got it to go.
6:30 remaining here in the third quarter.
Can they get over that mental hump of making it a single-digit game again?
41-30 the score. 6:20 remaining third quarter. Rudolph with the basketball. Defended by Bridges. And a timeout by Alabama State. She'll take a 30-second timeout. And Coach Frida Jackson wants to talk a little bit to Rudolph. And so we'll have a timeout here on the floor early on here in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout here. 41-30, Alabama State on top. We'll be right back. .30 is our score. The number 2 seed Alabama State on top of Texas Southern here in the third quarter. And there's the Grambling State University Lady Tiger basketball team coming over from North Louisiana, taking in today's game. They'll take on rival Southern University coming up on tomorrow evening. So that's going to be great right here on ESPN3. Head coach Cynthia Cooper-Dyke talking to her ladies. And as you said, how can they reduce that lead or that deficit 41-30 and get into those single digits?
Well, with Alabama State shooting a perfect 100% from the free throw line, that's going to be hard. I don't know if a team has ever gone perfect from the line and lost the game. Usually that's a good indicator that you're on the right track.
Nice double team on the inbound, and they get it into Emmanuel. Inside pass to Ward. Ward goes up for the shot, no good, and the rebound by Texas Southern. That's Bridges. Boy, she plays big.
Yeah, they made Ward work on that one. Not as easy with the seal and turn there.
Here's Gabriel. Gabriel goes in. Nice drive, but she can't finish. And Ward with the rebound. Well, she had the right idea.
It goes back to what we said at halftime. It's not that Texas Southern is getting bad looks. They're just not getting a lot of those shots to fall.
And Ward knew she traveled, and of course, she'll come out of the ball game just for a minute.
Yeah, little mea culpa over there. I did it. I'm guilty.
Little coaching going on right there between Jackson and Ward. Bridges now right side. Gabriel now to Hambrick. Still 15 left on the shot clock. Nice spin by Hambrick. Tries to get to Gabriel, and she gets it.
Oh, nice pass.
Nice pass, and she can't finish it. That was a great pass.
I think that's the story of Texas Southern.
And Limbrick comes away with the basketball, steals, and goes in for the bucket.
The only problem is that 2 points required too much effort.
Adams gets the bucket, and now she gets the rebound.
It can't be that hard every time they score.
Limbrick going in for the shot. No good. They got to start completing those layups.
Yeah, you can't draw up a play that says make the layup.
That's something you got to hope. Shot up and good by Jakaya Sanders. And for Sanders, her first 2 points of the ball game. Ward with 16 points already in this ball game. 43-32. An 11-point lead here for Alabama State. Inside pass to Gabriel. That's going to be stopped. Great job by Emmanuel getting a hand in there.
Yeah, they set up the pick and roll, but the pass wasn't there. It's not going to be open every time. You just got to pull it back out, run another play there.
Rudolph fighting for some position, gets the ball. Now over to Courtney Lee. Gets it to Sanders. Fair Pearson now back to Emmanuel. Emmanuel will drive, take the layup, and goes in for the bucket.
Yep, created the contact, which created a little bit of separation, allowing her to get to the bucket.
Look at Bridges on the other side, draws the foul, and will go to the line.
That lead slowly growing for Alabama State. And for Texas Southern, you have to find easier baskets if you want to stand a chance, with time not on their side.
Timeout on the floor as Bridges draws the foul. She'll go to the charity stripe after this break. By purpose. Vote today at retoolyourschool.com and help upgrade your HBCU. Back at Bartow Arena here in Birmingham, Alabama, where the Alabama State University Lady Hornets on top of Texas Southern 45-32. The winner of this game, of course, moves on in the tournament to take on the winner of the Southern and Alcorn State game tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sorry, on Friday at 11 a.m. So one of these two teams will get the day off tomorrow.
It's so good to see the fans back in the stands, Santoria. I know we got like about a 1,000 fan capacity here, but having this tournament canceled last year and then fighting back through and a year later to be here in Birmingham where we were supposed to be 365 days ago, it's really cool, man. Do I sound like somebody who's been locked up in the house with my family for a year?
Just a little bit. Bridges can't capitalize on the free throws. Just like you were just let out if you were off a punishment.
I've gone somewhere besides the grocery store and the gas station. This is so great.
Oh, man. Bridges can't hit the shot. Normally she's about a 75% free throw shooter. Texas Southern gets the ball back.
And if my kids are watching, I miss you.
Bridges now drives, gets in the paint, and it's stolen away. Ball is on the floor. Foul coming up on Texas Southern.
Yeah, things is just I think if you look at Bridges' face, it's kind of symbolic of the game. The Band-Aid, you know, they've been taking the licks, but still in there fighting. But it's just coming a lot easier for Alabama State than it is for Texas Southern.
Yeah, part of it is depth, as you talked about earlier. And then, of course, you know, once you get down to a team like this who is dominant in the paint and they can score, it becomes difficult. But still a long way to go in this ball game. No question about that. 45-32 and controlling the basketball now. Alabama State. And Rudolph controlling. She's on the sideline.
Hey, good help side rotation there, because that was another seal and turn proposition for Ward, but the defense hustling on the rotation.
That's something that head coach Cooper Dyke talks about, is rotating on defense to make sure that you have good help. Emmanuel in the paint, drives. Nice shot. Nice job by Gabriel.
Good
putting her
rotation.
hands up.
3-on-1 break here.
And Bridges goes in for the shot. No good. Goes back in. Can't hit the bucket. Rebounded by Texas Southern. Just inside the three-point line. That's Limbrick. She can't hit the shot. It goes out of bounds. Back to Texas Southern.
And if you're just covering this game or watching it from the stat sheet, you can't put that in a stat of the good looks that Texas Southern is getting. But and I know it sounds like we're beating a dead horse here, but I mean, you have to applaud their effort in 95% of their execution. It's everything but the ball going in the bucket.
Farrah Pearson comes back, goes out of the ball game, or it comes back in the ball game, and a jump ball possession will go back to Texas Southern.
But scoring is the most important thing, because that's what affects the scoreboard.
It's a little bit of an important stat. Bounce pass inside. Nice drive by Limbrick. She can't hit the bucket.
Great
and
cut.
Ward with the rebound. And Ward wants a foul. Gets the ball up the floor.
Great cut. Great pass. Just didn't make it.
Emmanuel inside to Pearson. Can't hit the bucket. Ward with the rebound. She goes in. Can't hit the bucket. But we'll go back to the charity stripe.
Yeah, you see it here. Just getting in position as the shot goes up. As a rebounder, when you average 10 boards a game, you have to assume every shot's going to come off the rim, and you got to be there and be ready.
They call the foul on Demetrius Lewis. First free throw is good by Ward. Money, money, money.
I mean, just perfect, literally perfect from the line today.
46-32 is our score now. 47-32, back up to a 15-point lead for Alabama State. 3:01 remaining here in this third quarter of play.
Here comes that press again.
And a steal. Great job by Courtney Lee getting a hand in there. Emmanuel for three, and she drains it.
defense turns into offense for Alabama State.
Her third three-pointer of the evening, or the morning, I should say. 50-32 up to an 18-point lead. Shot up no good by Adams, and coming away with it is Alabama State. Stop, pop, Crawford for the shot, no good, and a foul coming up.
Yeah, and on that previous possession, it's a turnover because when you try to attack the press on the sideline, by bringing the ball up the sideline becomes a third defender. You want to try to keep the ball in the middle, shoot it to the side if you need to, use the middle of the court as that pressure release valve, and to be able to defeat the press.
Crawford with the foul. And now with the basketball, Bridges. Three-pointer on the way by Hambrick is no good. And here comes Alabama State. Emmanuel with the drive, going in and getting the buckets.
That pushes the lead up to 20 points, and if you're an Alabama State fan, you're starting to think about who's next.
2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. That's a reach foul.
You know, it's funny about college basketball. When that lead gets to 20, you're kind of like, that feels like the point of no return, as opposed to the NBA when the lead gets up to 20. It's like, okay, now they're just starting to play here.
Courtney Lee with the foul. Taisha Randolph in the game now for Alabama State. First shot up and good. One more. No good, rather. 2:06 remaining here in this third quarter of play, and of course Bridges gets the second shot.
Even the one that goes down had to touch every part of the rim.
And so for Texas Southern, they cut the lead to 19 with 2:04 remaining here in the third quarter. And a near steal by Texas Southern. Now they tie the ball up, and it goes back to Alabama State.
Yeah, Texas Southern employing the press here. They've got to do something. They just can't trade buckets down 20. So they're going to have some opportunities where they turn defense into offense, and almost got it done there, knocking the ball out of bounds.
Emmanuel inbound the basketball. And controlling it is Sanders.
And now if you're Alabama State, you're in no rush at all.
Nice pass on the inside to Ward, and she gets the buckets.
She absorbed that contact, went up strong with the nice little, I used to call that the baby hook when we were outdoors playing Centurion.
Fourth team foul for Texas Southern, second team foul for Adams, and now Ward back to the free throw line. And man, gets the money.
A little English there, but got it to fall, stays perfect from the line.
English, French, Spanish, and then went in.
Espanol.
55-33, now to a 22-point lead. 1:35 remaining third quarter. Bridges now with the basketball. Gets it over to Hambrick. Texas Southern having a little problem. Bridges, a little bit of a push. And getting the rebound, Ward, after the miss.
Yep, Alabama State slowing it down, and Texas Southern is going to have to get buckets in a hurry if they're going to stand a chance at all. This is their season on the line here.
And Emmanuel with the drive and the shot. 57-33 the score. Nice little head fake, shot up and good. And that's Demetrius Lewis.
Yeah, we have some Alabama State fans that have trickled in. Santoria is not that far of a drive.
Traveling violation on Ward, and Texas Southern will get the ball back. Take a look at that last play by Emmanuel.
Right over the defender. Finishing with the left hand on the left side of the basket. That's how you draw it up.
And she was going through some traffic there as well. Under a minute now in the third quarter of play, 57-35. Alabama State on top, trying to go to the next round, which they'll play on Friday if they win here this morning. Or I like to call it the grits and eggs session of basketball.
I missed that in the break room.
26 seconds. 5 seconds now left on the shot clock. Gabriel goes in, gets it back out. Three-pointer, good. And that's Demetrius Lewis.
Just barely getting that off right at the shot clock.
And now the shot clock turned off. 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Emmanuel, she gets it over to Sanders. 4 seconds into the corner. Shot up by Randolph. No good. Foul coming up with 1.1 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that just leave you frustrated, scratching your head, fouling a three-point shooter. Just barely across the arm, but enough contact to draw the foul.
And that's going to be on Adams, and I believe that's her third personal. And she gets 3 free throws here with a second remaining in the first half.
Chance to keep Alabama State perfect. Let's see if she'll do that. First one is down.
She now has 3 points in the contest.
Like you don't want to be the player that breaks the perfect streak, right?
No, you don't want to do that. One more free throw. Perfect at the line.
Look at that.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Alabama State 60, Texas Southern 38. The final quarter for one of these teams. One goes home, the other moves on to Friday morning. We'll take this time out. 60-38, Alabama State.
Or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
Let's take a look at the women's basketball tournament bracket. Of course, coming up later on this evening, Jackson State will take on Mississippi Valley. That's the 1-8 game, 6:30 Eastern tonight. Tomorrow, 2 more games. It'll start with number 3 Southern against number 6 Alcorn State at noon Eastern. And then number 4 Grambling State taking on number 5 Alabama A&M. They played less than a week ago, 6:30 Eastern. And all games on ESPN3. And, of course, you can always just check online about all of the things that you can watch. I mean, it's going to be a great tournament all the way around.
It's so exciting when you get to see the top 2 seeds on the first day. A lot of times tournament structures, you got to wait till later in the week or at least the second day before the big dogs come out. But we get it right out of the gate here.
60-38, the score. Final quarter of this ball game. Texas Southern trying to make a desperate run to keep their season going. Alabama State trying to make sure that they hold off.
Yeah, anything Texas Southern does, they're going to have to do it quickly because time not on their side. The deficit grew in the third quarter. But free throws would be part of the formula of getting back.
Foul coming up there, and that's going to be on Rudolph.
Yep, you see the hand diving in there on the dribble penetration.
Demetrius Lewis at the free throw line, and she can't hit the first one. And Demetrius Lewis coming into the tournament shooting 57%. Got to hit free throws. Everything is a must right now if you're Texas Southern. 60-38, 9:40 remaining, and missed both.
Oh, and look at that. Scrappy on the... Maybe could have let that one slide a little bit. Fighting that hard on the ground for the ball, but I felt like she was already on the ground when she corralled possession there, but the referee saw it differently.
Alabama State basketball, and Texas Southern showing up full court press. Near steal by Texas Southern.
And Texas Southern, no rush at all. They want to limit the possessions or Alabama State, no rush. They want to limit the possessions that Texas Southern gets here because they are comfortably ahead here in the home stretch.
Courtney Lee coming to the opposite side. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to have to get something off. Crawford going up and draws the foul with 1 second remaining on the shot clock.
And that's a win for Alabama State. You use up the shot clock, draw a foul with the second remaining, go to the line where they are 18 for 18 from the line.
That's so frustrating if you're a head coach, because you play well on defense for the entire shot clock, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a foul with 1 second left.
Yeah, this has been the definition of frustration for Texas Southern. Getting quality looks, not getting them to fall, playing defense for the majority of the shot clock, then coming up with a foul.
Second free throw up and good by Jayla Crawford.
We'll have to figure out what the record is for consecutive free throws in a game. 20 for 20.
Shot up and good by Hambrick.
It's probably something ridiculous, but man, 20 for 20 is...
She's got 9 points now. And here's a turnover, and Hambrick coming away with the basketball. She'll take it herself, goes in and gets the bucket. And she's got 11 now. 62-42, getting that lead to 20 now. 8:33 remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, Texas Southern is going to have to press all the way throughout the remainder of the game. They're going to have to get turnovers in the backcourt.
Nice pass coming out to the freshman, Thomas. And now controlling the ball. Top of the key, that is Smith. Smith will drive. Bounce pass, try to get it to Thomas, but the pass was right at her ankles.
Yeah, too low there.
And on the other side, that's Bridges. And that's 6 straight for Texas Southern, cutting it to 18. And a timeout taken by Coach Frida Freeman-Jackson to slow things down here. 62-44 is the score.
Looking to get some more players in to give them some opportunities, but they got to keep the pace up or else they'll be right back on the bench.
Texas Southern making a... The 2021 SWAC basketball tournament on ESPN is presented by USAA, the official military appreciation partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. By Cricket Wireless, smile, you're on cricket. And by Credit Versio, get your credit score up to where it should be with Credit Versio. Visit creditversio.com. (62-44), Alabama State on top, the number 2 seed right now, trying to move on here in the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament. Nice recovery by Emmanuel, bounce pass, and a steal here by Texas Southern. Coming away with it is Limbrick.
Well, what have we heard forever? Teams that like to press don't like to be pressed. Texas Southern finding some success here with the full court pressure.
Three-pointer on the way, Demetrius Lewis, and the rebound. Oh, it's going to be a foul coming up on Alabama State. That is going to go against Ward.
I mean, what if they got 6? What if they run off 6 points here? What if we had a 62-50? That would change the complexion, right?
Change things a little bit. 7:36 remaining in the game. Still plenty of time left in this contest. No question about that.
Yeah, Alabama State has slowed things down and maybe taken the foot off the pedal of intensity a little bit.
Gabriel with the basketball gives it to Bridges. Bridges will take the three-pointer. Good, and they'll call that a 2. 8 in a row now for Texas Southern.
Turnover here.
Steal. Demetrius Lewis taking the basketball. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Oh. You just gotta drop that little baby off there. You don't have to take it all the way to the chest of the defender when you have those numbers. Like right here, just dish it right there, right there.
Yeah, just a second too late. And for Demetrius, that's her 3rd personal.
Here comes some more pressure. Alabama State wants to keep it in the middle of the floor.
Courtney Lee gets it across the half-court line. Now a three-pointer on the way by Crawford, no good. And the rebound by Adams. Adams will drive, take the shot, no good. And with the foul coming up on Alabama State is Farrah Pearson.
Yeah, it stops the clock. It gives you an opportunity to put points on the board without the clock moving. The needle is moving a little bit. I'm not sold that it's a complete surge, but a little movement on the needle here.
Into the ball game for Alabama State, Taisha Rudolph. And in for Texas Southern, Tierra Hambrick. 62-46 is the score. First free throw is up and good. One more free throw attempt. No good. Tipped around.
Back to the pressure. Here's another turnover.
Bridges goes in for the shot. No good. And the rebound by Alabama State. Steal by Bridges. Bridges gets it to Hambrick, and Hambrick gets the bucket.
Well, what did I say? Would you be interested in a 62-50? How about a 62-49?
Nice drop pass, shot up and good. Ward getting the bucket to stop the bleeding a little bit here. 64-49, 15-point lead for Alabama State. 6:46 remaining. Texas Southern trying to make a comeback. And Hambrick, I should say, Hambrick has been doing a great job, and a shot up and good here.
Great dribble penetration, suck the defense in, find the open teammate under the bucket for the easy layup.
Courtney Lee with the basketball to Ward. Ward going in, gets the shot, and Gabriel will get the foul.
That is the equalizer. Shemaiah Ward.
6:24 remaining here in the ball game.
Just push the ball up the court. There she is. You can't do it. You might as well just move. She's not going to miss that here.
Courtney Lee, what a great presence of mind to drop that pass down to Ward.
All about timing. Want to get the defense on their heels. As soon as you have them on their heels, drop it off.
Gabriel inside with the basketball, looking for an opening. Gets it to Bridges. It's stolen away. Emmanuel now has the basketball. One-on-one. Nice spin move by Emmanuel. She can't complete the bucket, but here comes Texas Southern. Controlling is Adams. Adams pass out to Bridges. Bridges takes the baseline. Little step blocked out of there. Hambrick with the rebound. She goes for three. No good. Bouncing off the rim. Ball tip. Gabriel with the rebound. She goes in and gets the bucket.
Well,
67-53.
2 touchdowns here.
Courtney Lee now with the basketball. And a foul coming up. That will be charged to Adams.
You have to salute Texas Southern. They are built for this tempo. You look out on the court, you don't see anybody bending over at the knees. They are out here running. It takes a lot of energy to press full court and then try to push the ball offensively as well. Only 5 minutes to go. They're going to leave it all out on the court. Alabama State hoping to put it away here.
Adams has to come out. Demetrius Lewis comes in. Adams now has 4 personal fouls. Controlling the ball, Crawford. Gets it off to Rudolph. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Demetrius Lewis with the rebound for Texas Southern. Nice pass out to Limbrick. Limbrick goes in, can't hit the bucket, tipped out. And it's Crawford now out to Emmanuel. Emmanuel one-on-one, and she's fouled by Hambrick.
The amount of shots missed in the paint by Texas Southern. If they would have half of those go in, this would be an entirely different ballgame.
You can just see great transition. And Emmanuel going up strong. Can't get the bucket, but she'll go to the line to shoot a couple here. Two free throws coming up. Oh, first miss.
One doesn't go in. I was quiet on purpose. I felt like the more we talked about it, the jinx was coming. It appears that silence was the jinx.
So it's your fault then.
Oh, you've been talking to my wife. It's always my fault.
5:03 remaining here in the ball game, and a three-pointer on the other side. That's Limbrick.
Still a 12-point game right at 5 minutes here.
68-56 out of bounds, and it goes back to Texas Southern. Farrah Pearson getting ready to check back into the ball game for Alabama State. And coming out will be Jayla Crawford.
I mean, hope springs eternal. I'm not rooting for either team. I'm just rooting for a great game. This is much more exciting than a 20-point deficit, but if you're Texas Southern, if you can get 2 quick buckets here before, 4-minute mark, if you could squeeze that out somehow, we could have ourselves a single-digit game once again.
Adams coming back into the ball game. She has 4 personal fouls, so you have to watch out for that. 4:48 remaining. Texas Southern trying to save every precious second that they can to continue this comeback. Hambrick with the basketball. Inside to Sky Green, who gets the bucket.
Nice drop step. Coming back over her right shoulder to the bucket. That's how you draw it up.
Her first bucket of the ball game. 68-58. 10-point ball game. Emmanuel, 3, good.
That was big for Alabama State. If Texas Southern were to come down on this next possession and cut it to single digits, man, they would be feeling good about themselves.
On the other side for a triple.
Answer back.
And she's having one heck of a second half and a shot on the other side. And Emmanuel with another bucket.
All right, you remember that part where we said we wouldn't see a shootout here?
So much for that.
Throw that out of the mix.
Demetrius Lewis now with the basketball. Inside to Sky Green. She muscles her way in. Now back out to Hambrick. A 3-pointer on the way. No good.
And Lewis wasn't even looking for that shot in the first half.
No.
There were times they fed her the ball in the post, and she didn't even turn or consider making a move. But as desperation sinks in here, Texas Southern's got to get offense from a little bit of everybody.
Sky Green comes out. Gabriel back in the ball game. And Texas Southern will press the ball.
Texas Southern on fire. They've hit 10 of 13 here this quarter.
3-pointer by Emmanuel. She's got 8 straight. And it continues the lead for Alabama State, 76-61. Texas Southern with the basketball. 3-pointer on the way, this time from Limbrick. No good. Rebound by Demetrius Lewis, and she gets the bucket.
Good patience there. Taking it back up after bringing in the offensive board.
And she's into double figures now. 11 points, 76-63. And a timeout charge to Texas Southern University.
You just, again, if you look at the stat, the box at the end of this game, you won't be able to tell how entertaining it was here in the fourth quarter.
Well, I tell you what, Emmanuel is having herself a heck of a second half as she has been lighting it up.
Yeah, and that's a way to really take the air out of Texas Southern, who's been hot from the field, playing well on defense. A couple of big 3-pointers by Alabama State, and that helps keep a bit of a cushion here. If she doesn't hit those shots, I mean, we're looking at a 7-point game or maybe even less here, as we're under the 3-minute mark here. But, man, what a way to go for Texas Southern to really turn it up. They really struggled there in the third period, got down by 20 points, but they have cut this down to a very competitive 13 and was actually on the verge of maybe single digits just a few possessions ago.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Emmanuel's season high was 29 against Arkansas Pine Bluff. She's got to be close to that now, right around 27, 28 points. And so right now, and she has been just absolutely lighting up the scoreboard here in this last few minutes of the ball game. And that's what you need from your leadership. When you're talking about Emmanuel, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, you need that kind of leadership at the end. But, you know, credit her teammates for finding her in the open space coming down the floor.
Well, it helps when you have Ward down there because Ward is going to demand a double team. We've seen what she can do when she seals her defender. So a lot of that rotation is going to come to her. And if she kicks it back out, then the numbers are on your side offensively because somebody's going to be open on the perimeter because of the double team that Ward demands down on the block. So Alabama State doing a good job of working the ball inside out, and Emmanuel doing her job knocking down the shot.
Here's the player of the game presented by USAA, the official military appreciation partner of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Shemaya Ward, 26 points, 10 rebounds, perfect from the free throw line, 8 for 15, season high at the charity stripe. And we still got 2:44 left to go in the game.
Yeah, we're going to get to the look. You want to play Hack-a-Shack? There's no shack out there.
No, there's not.
Everybody can hit their free throws. So You just have to kind of hope that all of a sudden they'll forget how to do that, and I don't think that's going to happen.
22 of 23 at the free throw line for Alabama State, one of the best percentages on this season. And Emmanuel has 28 points, Ward with 26. Alabama State with the basketball. 2:28 remaining, foul coming up. And that one's going to be on Adams, and I believe that may be her fifth personal. That will hurt Texas Southern a little bit from the standpoint of guard play.
Yeah. Adams was good with that crossover along the baseline, getting to the bucket, more of a mid-range player, but she's going to have to take a seat here.
Coming back into the ball game now for Texas Southern. Bridges. Couple of free throws here. And first free throw, no good.
And we haven't talked about this at great length, but Texas Southern missing their second leading scorers. They had 5 players scratched right before tip-off here.
Yeah, right before. Texas Southern doing everything they can to try to save their season. Shot up and no good, but a foul coming up. And Hambrick will go to the free throw line.
And we are just getting started here today in Birmingham. The first of 4. Fans are going to be in for a good treat here as the SWAC is back in Birmingham for the postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. Next game coming up, Jackson State will take the floor. That'll be a big one.
Yeah, co-champs on the men's side, along with Prairie View A&M. So they were not able to play each other during the regular season, but if they both run the tables here, they will see one another, and we will figure out who is the team.
And the last picture you saw was Kason Burke, one of the assistant coaches. Well, he was a heck of a ball player for Jackson State. He, along with Dayswan Dixon, assistant coaches. And a foul coming up on Alabama State.
Yep, the Jackson State UAPB matchup is coming up next, scheduled for a 2 o'clock tip here.
And we have a technical foul now on Texas Southern, I believe.
That would be 3 Eastern. You know, I live in Atlanta, and dealing with the SWAC, it's always math in my head. What time are we talking about? Central time or Eastern time?
And that's always the case when you start talking about, you know, tournament times and all of that. Is it Eastern? Is it Central?
And look,
but all times are Eastern.
I am complete East Coast bias. Only Eastern time exists in my head, so
you are biased, sir.
Especially when you start figuring out trips. You're like, okay, I'm going to go here, and I'll get back home. Oh, wait, I got to throw that out.
Free throws coming up here for Alabama State. First free throw up and no good by Pearson. So just a reminder, spring forward daylight saving time begins on Sunday.
Yep. And I hope they pass a law to just get rid of all of this. Let's just get a time and stick to it.
Yeah, I think Indiana does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why they used to do it, but I don't think the vast majority of the country is out there sending the kids off
to. And Emmanuel just hit her season high. 30 points for Emmanuel. Season high for her. 80-65 now. Alabama State on top. 2:12 remaining. What a game for Emmanuel.
Yeah, I feel almost positive in saying that Alabama State's going to hold on here. I think one more score will be kind of the knockout blow if this was a boxing match.
Pearson with the ball. Shoots from the free throw line. Up, no good. Ball tipped around. Ward gets it back, and she goes in for the bucket.
Yep, and if you're going to ask somebody to deliver the knockout, Ward, our player of the game, would be the person.
And she's got 28 now. Bridges with the ball. Goes in for the shot. No good. Gets her own rebound. And a foul coming up. Gabriel will go to the free throw line. And it looks like Rudolph gets the foul.
And how scrappy is this Texas Southern team, man? They have not given up at all. Fighting hard on the boards. Coming out here with 7 players running full court press late in the game. You have to really give it up for the effort that they have shown here.
And Gabriel's in double figures now for Texas Southern. I believe she has a double-double, 10 points now, 11 points, and 10 rebounds. Minute 34, 82-67. Texas Southern scrambling. Ward with the ball, goes in, gets the bucket. She's got 30. Nice block, and Alabama State gets the ball back. 1:17 remaining. Texas Southern on defense, pressing the ball, desperately trying to get the ball back. But Alabama State holding on. Emmanuel double dribbles, and Texas Southern gets the ball back with 1:06 remaining.
Yeah, time is definitely against Texas Southern. Of course, they're going to do all they can do because that's what you do as players. But Alabama State is sitting pretty, but boy, they earned it today.
17-point lead for Alabama State. Texas Southern. Bridges with a shot off the front of the iron, no good. Alabama State with the basketball. Now Courtney Lee comes down the floor to Emmanuel. Emmanuel goes up, misses. Rebound and put back by Pearson, no good. And a jump ball. Possession goes back to Alabama State. 44 seconds remaining in the ball game.
So the winner of this one, which it appears to be Alabama State, will advance to play the winner of Thursday's game. Number 3 Southern, number 6 Alcorn. That's 11 o'clock Central. See, there we go. 12 o'clock Eastern.
Always Eastern. And a foul coming up. And this will go against Hambrick. Hambrick has had a great second half for Texas Southern University. 14 points in the second half, 13 for Ayanna Bridges. Bridges just under her season average of 16 points a game. And now Emmanuel already with 30, going for more off the front of the iron.
Fourth quarter has just been unkind to that stellar streak that Alabama State had going from the free throw line.
And for 2 seniors on this Texas Southern ball club, Nico Adams and Ataya Bridges, the inevitable is near, and that is the end of their season and their collegiate careers at Texas Southern. 85-67. Shot up good. Demetrius Lewis goes in for the bucket. She's in double figures. 21 seconds left. Alabama State trying to get back to the semifinals of the tournament. And they're just holding the ball. 12 seconds remaining. Alabama State trying to go back to the NC2A tournament for the first time since the 17-18 year. And they're dribbling it out, and that's it. Final score, Alabama State wins it 85-69, and they're on to the semifinals Friday morning. And let's take a look at the updated bracket here for the women's side of the tournament. Alabama State moves on. They'll play the winner of Southern and Alcorn. They'll play on Thursday at noon, and Alabama State will get tomorrow off. And they'll play Friday at noon. The championship game re-airs Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPNU. Coming up next, though, here at Bartow Arena, Jackson State will take on Arkansas Pine Bluff. Final thoughts on this game?
Well, I hate to say the same thing over and over, but looking from afar, you would think, oh, Alabama State just had a cakewalk against Texas Southern. This was a really competitive and scrappy game. Texas Southern just simply could not make shots in the paint that were good and open looks. Alabama State had that happen to them earlier in the game. I think they started out 2 or 3 of 11 from the floor, but they were able to settle down a lot quicker. And once they got that margin up to double digits, it was an uphill battle for Texas Southern, but it was competitive and good and exciting despite the final score.
85-69, the final. Alabama State moves on to the semifinals. We'll take this time out and look. More basketball coming up. Jackson State on the other side, the number 2 seed on the men's side, will take on Arkansas Pine Bluff coming up at around 2 p.m. Eastern. For now, 3 p.m. Eastern. For now, Santoria Black, along with Tolly Clark. We'll see you a little bit later on ESPN3.